The Vera Thomas Show. The Vera Thomas Show. The Vera Thomas Show. The Vera Thomas Show. Let's talk about it. 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 On the Vera Thomas Show. Let's talk about it. Yeah.
Relationships. We love to fall in love, to find that person that we can connect with, the one we want to share our life with, and have the happily ever after.
And when we do, it's like magic. We feel like our love will last forever. And we have this romantic image of love, two hearts as one. But no matter how magic the feeling is, it can fade into the reality of life.
It's normal for relationships to hit hard times.
We know we've hit many hard times. It's what you do in the hard times that defines your relationship.
Why do so many relationships fall apart? Well, here's a complimentary ebook that covers the #1 reason for relationship breakdown.
Because we all need a little help to live a happily ever after life. In this free ebook, you will learn 3 tools to help you reconnect, recommit, and refresh your relationship.
Fill out the form, which will send you an email with your personal link to a free copy of 3 tools to reconnect, recommit, and refresh your relationship.
Yes, yes, yes. I am so excited to have my guests today, Rick and Leisa Olson. How are you guys today?
Well, we're doing great.
Pretty amazing. We're excited to be here.
Well, we're excited to have you here. And so I'm hearing are you hearing like a whistle type sound?
Nope.
Okay, well, maybe that's just me. Well, anyway, let me share a little bit about Rick and Leisa Olson. First of all, Leisa and Rick are F.U.S.E family coaches. They are a couple who have personally experienced the joys and challenges of building a blended family for over 3 decades. As parents of 6 grown daughters and grandparents to 14 grandchildren, they understand the unique dynamics and complexities of a blended family. Their passion for helping other blended families create loving, fulfilling relationships stems from their own experiences and the desire to make a positive impact in the lives of others. Rick and Leisa Olson F.U.S.E, which is family coaching, family unified, strengthened, and empowered. They are the founders and creators of F.U.S.E family coaching. And they say we coach couples who are parents in both a traditional and step families. They have been a step couple for over 32 years, authors, life coaches, coaching individuals one on one. They help activate their zone of genius by understanding their unique strengths and passions within the context of their parenting roles, identifying strengths and creating balance, fostering a mindset and supporting each other. And knowing you guys personally, I know that that's what you do. And you are walking the talk. And so right now, I'm going to give you both the floor, and I would like for you to just share your journey and share your experiences as, you know, that led you to your purpose and your passion. So I'd like to talk about how you met, what were some of the challenges, how did you overcome those challenges, and what led you to your purpose and your passion. So I'm going to give you the floor.
I just wanted to say the floor that we really want is the ballroom dancing floor, because that's one of the things that really cemented our relationship.
Mhm.
But go ahead, Lisa.
Well, how we met was with a mutual friend, a gal that I had gone to school with and graduated with. We met again and as single moms. I had four little girls. She had one daughter, and her daughter and my oldest daughter were on the same age. So we got together and did activities that were happening in our community. And then one day she said to me, I met this guy that he asked me out for coffee and he had apple juice and he talked so much about his daughters. I think the two of you would really make a great couple. So can I give him your phone number? And I'm like, no, I don't think so. And so our children were at the same school. So after school, while we're waiting for our children to come out, she would kept asking me, I really think that, you would make a good couple. You should meet him. So finally I went, fine. And I gave my number to her and she said she passed it along. And that was around April. And then I didn't hear from I didn't hear from him at all. And then one Sunday afternoon, August 25th, my daughters had been spending time with their dad that week. And so I was by myself. I get this phone call, and this really handsome voice on the other end of the line was there. And it was Rick. Did you want to say anything?
Do I get to? My side of the story is that, yes, I did have apple juice because I don't like coffee. And when she gave me that phone number, I was seeing someone else. And when that ended, and I didn't feel comfortable phoning Lisa until after that other connection ended. And it was about 4 to 5 months. And one Sunday afternoon, I saw it in there, and I just decided sometimes it's a little hard for guys to have to, make that first move. But I did. And then I was saying, we should get together sometime. And she said, well, why not today? And I took her back.
Well, this was my mother brain going. It's like, right now, I don't have any children home. And my girls were very small. The oldest was 7, and what went 7, 6, 4, and 3, and almost 3. And so the next day I had plans to paint my bedroom because my brother-in-law had given me paint and everything. And then Tuesday morning I was putting everything back together and the girls were coming home. And so my brain's going, the only time I have right now is right now.
And then she gave me her address, a stranger on the phone. And I was thinking, oh, she's trustworthy or trusting, I mean. And I suggested that we could meet somewhere, but she said, no, just come and pick me up. And she led to a path that we could walk on. So I met her at the door, and my first impression was, wow, this woman is quite pretty. She had this pink top on, which always makes her look pretty, of course. So we went for a walk on this walkway, and it was interesting because we didn't talk to each other about it for months. But as we're walking, as our hands went past each other, we could feel that energy, or I could feel it between the two of us. And it was like pulling me to hold her hand or something. And I'd never felt that before.
No, and I had gotten to the point as a single mom where when I'd see couples holding hands, I go, oh, that's so ridiculous. You only hold children's hands. And so here I am out on this walk, and I had this strange urge to just reach out and hold his hand, like hold it. And I'm like, oh, so there was something right from the beginning.
Yes.
And we got married, so that was August 25th, and Rick proposed on the 25th of September. And then that December, we got married. And
Wait. You met
August
in
25th.
August 25th.
Mhm.
You
I arranged
proposed.
I arranged a special time because one of her friends was staying at her house. So I asked this lady if she would look after the kids while I took Lisa for a walk. So I did, and I had the ring with me, and I proposed.
under a street lamp.
After a month of
A month.
dating?
Yeah.
Now, the interesting thing is, what did you tell me?
Well, it was like, where is this relationship going?
No.
Yeah, that was what kind of spurred him on.
Wait, you asked him what, like the day or during the
No, it
course
was
of?
like a week before he had proposed. I would just like, where's this relationship going? Are we going to, make a commitment, or, should we just say goodbye as, good friends? And
So when I asked
so
her to marry me, this is what she said.
I looked at the ring, I looked at him, and I'm going, I can't say no.
Why
She
did you
didn't
say I
say
can't say no?
Well, because it was like, I guess at that point I was quite involved in my church and everything, and I kind of wanted somebody who was more similar in that respect. And Rick wasn't that person, but yet he was that person in every other way. Like he was just like a natural dad and a very helpful person. He was a ballroom dancer. He owned a piano and he could play it, and he was just this really wonderful man. And so
Wow.
I couldn't say, I said, I just can't say no.
Well, let
And
me ask you. So, on August 25th, when you met, how often did you see each other between that time and the time that he proposed?
she phoned me first
Yeah,
after that.
I think so. Yes. And we made a time on that Friday. His daughters were coming to spend time with him for that weekend. And so we got together with all of our girls and went to pick blackberries and then have a picnic out at the lake that was nearby. And so Rick he says, I'll buy the hot dogs, so how many hot dogs do you think your children will eat? And I went, well, at least, they'll have at least one, they're just small. And so when he arrived at my house with his two girls, then, we all met each other. And then he says, okay, does anybody want to come with us? And my second oldest daughter went, I'll come. And she went, and my daughter Catherine and his oldest daughter Taryn, they kind of have the same similar energy, though they're far apart in age, and they hit it off right away, those two. And so we went and got a bunch of blackberries and then headed out to the lake, and then it started to drizzle.
And it's a little harder to get a fire going when it drizzles.
Yeah.
But she was thinking one wiener each. I think I bought enough for three each.
Yeah, you got 3 dozen. And the girls,
they were all gone by the time.
girls,
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, they ate them all up, and it was all really, I was amazed. The other thing that was,
yes, we have a special moment.
Well, before the special moment was, not only did he come with wieners and the buns, but he also came with these 2 containers, plastic containers with chopped carrots and, in water so they stay fresh. And then another one of cucumbers. And I'm like, veggies and a hot dog.
Instead of potato chips. I love it.
Yeah, so it was a fun time.
And we have a very special moment that happened there. I'll tell you what we call that moment. But I brought marshmallows with me.
But do we want to save that for we have a special program that we do.
No,
we
want to tell it.
Okay, you can tell that wonderful marshmallow.
Tell me everything.
All right.
I love to cook marshmallows just make them golden brown. Now, it's not all that easy, but if you do it right, and I've been doing it for years, so I made a marshmallow, nice and golden brown, and then Lisa was sitting beside me, so I offered it to her, and she was kind of,
Oh, surprise. You see, when I roast our marshmallows all of my life, you put it into the fire, and then when the flames happen, you blow out the flames and then you eat the charcoal marshmallow. That's just how I always thought it was. And so here I am, just you're kind of squatted down by the fire, really close. And then Rick came and got right down next to beside me, and I'm like, because I hadn't really had any men around me for years, and so it was just like, whoa. And then when he does this marshmallow, I was so impressed. It's like, what?
so we call that our marshmallow moment.
Yes.
And
Okay.
we have a series of moments that we talk about. And that's one of the, is it the first one?
That could be.
Anyway, that's one of the moments. And one of our coaches was so taken by that moment. It's now part of his language,
His
if you want to call it.
vocabulary,
Yeah.
yes.
The
Marshmallow
marshmallow
moment.
moment. I love it. I have to ask you, Lisa, first date, and you invite this guy to your house,
Well, I
and
knew him.
okay, and
Right.
It's
Rick,
a
you
small
said,
community.
Yeah.
It
okay, and
wasn't
that,
large.
okay, that's beautiful, and
Well,
it feels like it was like that connection was like almost immediately with that first date.
Yep.
yes.
Oh, that's
Yeah, I was very
beautiful.
intrigued. We shared all our parenting stories, and of course, one of the first things I wanted to know was, why are you divorced? And so we got our stories out, and so he just seemed like he was an okay person.
And
Wow.
the other
Well,
thing that really cemented our relationship was when I took her to a dance.
and we just got lost. Well, while they're coming back, let me play one of their videos. Thank God.
Congruent, capable of being placed over another figure and matching it exactly. Another way to define congruent is
In agreement or harmony. In our ebook, 3 Tools to Reconnect, Recommit, and Refresh Your Relationship, we state that
what we think about, we become. We are the product of our own thoughts.
the person you are right now is who you have learned to be.
The thoughts you think and the words you speak create your life, your future.
As Louise Hay explains it, it's as if our thoughts go out into the universe and are accepted and brought back to us as experience.
Unfortunately, we get into the habit of going about our day just thinking,
Thinking and thinking.
and we don't bother to pay much attention to what it is that we are thinking about.
It takes a conscious effort to train ourselves to be aware of what we are thinking and what we are silently telling ourselves.
Are the thoughts you think about yourself congruent with the person you choose to be and the life you choose to live?
It's not easy to remain in agreement or in harmony with yourself. So to help you, here are 4 questions you can ask yourself throughout your day.
What am I thinking about?
What words and phrases am I saying silently to and about myself?
Would I want these thoughts or ideas to create my life?
Am I willing to have the experience of what this thought could bring me?
Begin today to learn to be the person you really want to be.
It's all about letting go. Letting go of the thoughts that are not in harmony with your inner desires and choosing the thoughts that match them exactly.
Remember, speak kindly,
Hug often,
love fully.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I absolutely love it. So, When working with families, how does this group congruency tie in with the family dynamics?
Well, congruency means that you're in harmony with who you want to be. And most parents want to be good parents. They want to raise their children in an environment that's safe and healthy for them. So the congruency is that when you have this inner desire, is your outer expression of that congruent with that? If it isn't, then there's some things you need to work on because you're not being that kind of parent that you want to be.
When we
And
work with couples, we work with them individually so that we help them to understand who is it that you choose to be. And when you each understand who it is that you choose to be, then we help bring them together to see who they choose to be as a couple in their
Mhm.
relationship.
that's beautiful. And then how do you bring the children into that?
Well, because for us, we work with the couples and we're not here to parent their children. We want to help them to parent their own children in the best way. And we
Okay.
know that they know what's best for their children because they know them the best. And so this gives them the tools to help them realize, how do I want to model for in front of my children and how I want them to become and how I want them to grow up and be. And so this is the big part of our work
Mhm.
is really helping people understand who do you choose to be.
Now, we did a bit of studying on what makes a hero. What are the qualities that heroes portray? And we've come to the conclusion that every parent is a hero. So we help them understand that they are the heroes for their children. And if they're not right now, we help them move towards that because we want them to be the one that give the beliefs and the values to their children, not the teacher, not the coach, not the guy next door or the babysitter. The parents are the ones that shape and influence their children.
Yes, I love it. I love it. I love it. Now, before you left me, we were on another topic, but I said, well, let me not have dead space here and play this
Yeah.
particular video. But I want to get back to a couple of things in terms of because I know that you can't teach what you don't know, and you can't give what you don't have. And I know that in order for you to be as effective and transformational as you are, you have to go through this yourself. So, my question is, can you share with us some of the because I know you love it for but before I say that, I did another show today and we talked about love and the difference between loving saying I love you and saying I'm in love with you. Can you guys kind of share some things regarding that before I even get into the other thing? Because I was thinking about that as you were talking. And so, is there a difference between saying I love you and saying I'm in love with you? And how does those two phrases coincide with relationships and parenting?
That's a really great question. Do you have any thoughts, Rick?
No, to me, they are very similar. I tell Lisa I love her all the time. Um, I know that I'm in love with her, but I'm not sure if I can define the difference.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. It's okay. When we say I'm in love with you, then all the experiences that you guys had from the beginning, you know, Lisa, you felt some stuff happening in you that made you say, "Man, I'm in love with this guy."
Yeah,
Okay?
right Twitter pated.
And so you guys fell in love probably even before the words "I love you" happen.
Yes.
Okay. All
And
right.
so, go ahead, Rick.
Oh no, as I was listening to what you were saying, and I understand how you're kind of saying it. Um, the the in love was kind of an unspoken thing that we were feeling because we had these
Feeling.
emotions
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
that we were feeling. But to me, it's when I say I love you, that's the feeling that I have.
Yes. And love is, of course, is a verb. It's an action word.
It is an
And
action. It is. And what when I became divorced, and at one point I remember hearing my ex saying that, well, things just didn't work out. And that's what you hear a lot in relationships. It's
Mhm.
like, well, I got divorced because, it just didn't work out. And what we came to understand was it's not that it didn't work out, is that you didn't put the work in, because you're not like madly in love all the time. Like there are days where I'm going, do I really like him? And it's like love
Oh yeah.
is a choice, and it's something that you choose. And because we've had our magic marshmallow moments and others, those are the things that you look back on and you go, right, that was the reason that I had this desire to be with this person. And so it's a choice every day. And when you make that choice, then that congruency comes in. Your thoughts, are you congruent with those thoughts? So now what can you do to demonstrate that you do love this person? And it just takes doing service. As soon as I would start to do something for Rick, that love starts coming back.
Hmm.
And it just seems when you serve one another, then even if you're feeling not all Twitter pated at that moment, that's how you bring that love back again, by serving and making that choice.
And one
I
of the things
love
I
it.
like to add is that um, we talk that it's you haven't made the decision to be together, or it's just not working out. And a lot of people don't know how to put the work in
Mhm.
to the relationship because
And that's what you do. You help them
Exactly.
exactly, yes.
put the
We
work
have the
in.
work. We have the work. We show them what it is to create and to have that wonderful, phenomenal relationship together.
That's amazing. And I know you have several programs that you have developed as a result of Fuse. But before we even talk about those programs, tell us more about Fuse.
FUSE stands for Family, Unify, Strengthen, and Empower. We were on a uh, what's that
Well,
called? The group, um, a
okay.
mastermind group
Yes.
from Bob Proctor, and there was about 12 of us, and it whittled down some. But we would talk every week, and one of my mastermind members said, you talk about um, how you
Want to unify families,
and strengthen families and
empower.
empower families. And why don't you use the acronym USE? And I thought,
We didn't.
use
We thought
families?
use family wasn't really great.
So I put the F in front of it for FUSE. Now, FUSE has an interesting definition. There's actually at least three definitions of what FUSE is. FUSE is that thing that goes down and sets off the explosion in a stick of dynamite. So you can say, we explode families into the greatness. Or FUSE is that thing in the fuse box that puts the electricity through your house. So we provide that energy that helps families expand. But the one we really like, and the one that we like to use, is when you fuse something together, fusing metals or something. So we want to fuse the family, fuse the couples, and they fuse their families. So that's the definition that we like the best.
Mhm.
And
So
when
we
you
were.
think And when you think of it in that way, when you fuse something together, it stays, it sticks, it's solid.
Yes.
That's our hope, our intention.
Yes. So when
Awesome.
we came across this whole idea when we way back in 2007, we were empty nesters by this time. Our youngest daughter had started university that the September before, so it was just us. And we got into a coaching program that was for a whole year with Bob Proctor. And he asked us at the very beginning to set a goal. And we have these financial goals. I wanted this house, but we were finding that it wasn't really driving us.
No.
And during, I guess by the third month, I really felt like I needed something more. I had this idea that I wanted a purpose and a meaningful life.
Mm-hmm.
And so I created a purpose about how I wanted to inspire people, empower people, and help them to realize that they have this, this divineness about them, this infinite potential. And then I was talking with Rick about this, and he too felt like he wanted purpose. And so I had him go and sit in his office, and
Well, she banished me to the office and told me not to come out until I had my purpose statement.
Oh
And
my goodness.
I had questions for him to answer, and so he did. And then we were looking at it, and it's like, yeah, we have a lot of similar things that we really want to do in our life. And then as we were discussing the things that we were learning with Bob, he gave us the most amazing foundation for personal development. Rick was saying, like if parents had this information, like what a difference families would be. And we knew that a lot of people in the program wanted to have programs just for children, just for teens. And we're going, no. We had just raised our daughters through the 90s, and all the dads and all of the kid movies that we sat and watched with our children were the goofball. They didn't know anything.
And the children were the heroes and rescued the parents.
Yes.
And so we wanted to have that's when he came up with, like, parents need to be the heroes for their children. And so that's when F.U.S.E was born. And we started off to fuse couples so that they had this committed relationship so that they wouldn't divorce. And it was just a few years ago when we were putting our programs into a community calendar for programs that were being offered, when Rick was asked,
do you do blended family programs? And no, we didn't have one. But I said, yes, of course.
Of course. I mean, you were a blended family.
So yeah, he came home and he told me, and right away I went, huh? And then I went, okay, my brain went really quick and going, oh, okay, I can modify everything that we're doing. And once we started getting into creating this program for blended families, we were so amazed at, wow, we have this wealth of experience and understanding, because there is so much goes on in a blended family.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about some of the things that go on in a blended family.
Okay.
Okay,
First of all, I was a parent for 13 years. So I thought when I met and married Leisa, I could be a stepdad, no problem. But there's lots of issues. The children don't know you. They're a unit with their mom. So you're on the outside for as long as it takes you to get that comfort and familiarity with the children. And part of the way I did that was I took them out hiking and camping, overnight backpacking and canoeing and some of those things, because I was the leader then. They had to.
Yes.
But that wasn't the reason, but that helped us become a family.
And
Go ahead.
My question, because everything kind of happened so quickly.
Yes.
How did that impact both sides of your on both sides? How did that impact your children with this relationship starting in August and by September you're engaged, and then
And
by
December
December
married,
you're
yes.
Yeah.
married? How did that impact the children?
Well, one of the things that we realized is that when you form a blended family, there's new roles. And with each new role, there's new rules. So as when we look at my daughters, they were they had one sister each. Then when their mother married, they gained two sisters and a brother. And then when Lisa and I married, they gained four sisters. So they ended up with seven sisters and a brother within a year. Now, if that doesn't change and has an impact on you, that is, I don't know how else you can explain
Mhm.
it. But they didn't only get that, they got step grandparents, step uncles, step aunts, step cousins. Huge change. And if you think about it as a mobile with everybody on that and the different branches and so on, it's complicated.
Very complicated. And I was Rick's girls were like they're older than mine. They were 13 and 10 when we got married, and they were wonderful big sisters, and
Of course.
they still are. Like they're his youngest is really close to two of my girls, and they're sisters, and that's just how they are. And it's been wonderful. They would come over on the weekends, and my girls would be climbing all over them because they were the big girls, and mine were so little, and they just took it all in stride, and they were
That's
always so
beautiful.
kind. And so I don't know, we were pretty fortunate that everyone just got along. My oldest had some problems. She doesn't even really remember that now. But I said, I remember that when the weekends, when the girls would come over, my girls had an early bedtime because they were little girls, and his girls got to stay up because they were older. And also, I wanted them to have time with their dad. And so my oldest, she kind of had her nose a bit, at a because hey, how come, I have to go to bed with all the little girls? And so that was a little hard for her because she took her, being the oldest, especially in, when I was a single mom, she took her role as the oldest very, very seriously. I mean, she was the big girl.
Mhm.
And now she was kind of misplaced a bit. So that was something she had to work through. And then we had my third daughter, Melanie, who she was very clingy to her mom, and we would hug, and all of a sudden this little body would be in between us. It's like, and we didn't think at the time to, I don't know whether we did or not, to
No.
really, get down into her level and going, are you okay? Or, we just thought it was kind of cute.
And the other
But
thing that happened was that Lisa's oldest was kind of the substitute dad. She took on some of
The
the
yes,
substitute
ex
parent. Yes.
parents, sorry. She took on some of the roles. And then when I came into the family, she lost those roles because I was there. And that displaced her again. So there
Yes.
was a lot of displacement in some of the roles. She wasn't the oldest anymore. She wasn't the helper for her mom. So there are issues and things do happen that way.
so how do you deal with those challenges? Because there are going to be people that are going to be watching this as a replay. So how did you guys deal with the challenges so that you can help other parents deal with those challenges?
Well, oh, go ahead.
Well, at that time in our early married life with the girls, with my daughters, because Rick was their everyday dad now, he was there every day for them. And they would go and see their dad every other weekend. And that lasted for about, just over 2 years. And then their dad moved far away, so they couldn't go and have that time. And then every other weekend, of course, Rick's girls came. So we had a weekend with 6 daughters and a weekend without daughters. But with the four girls at home, we set up regular meetings with the girls, and we met on usually Monday evening. We got together and we had this book that it's now called The Book, and it's called If Life is a Game, These Are the Rules by Cherie Carter Scott.
Yeah.
And it's just a tiny book. And she has little segments about different values and just, other things that are really important for us to learn here as humans. And so every week, each person would have a turn to read the short little passage from the book. And then we had a little discussion. That helped a lot. We had a lot of good talks. We had this one night where we were all talking about some of our sadness. And Rick was talking about his sadness of, having to, he's left his girls and all of that hurt. So he's in tears. We were all in tears that night, and it was getting to be like 10 o'clock, and we still needed to play our game and have our treat. And so, we would have a little 5-minute game, and then we had our treat that night. But this is something that really brought us together. And then, of course, with Rick, planning some outdoor activities. Being in nature is a good thing. And I loved being out in nature, and I love camping. And so we did things as a family that brought us together. And I feel like those were important things. And then,
one of the beliefs that I had is that I wanted to make sure the girls had an introduction to many things, like singing and dancing and music. And my daughters did ballet, with gymnastics,
and ice skating.
So we made the effort to get them involved in these things.
I'd already had 2 of my girls dancing, and so it was just a natural thing then. And Rick was so supportive, like, yeah, they need to keep up with these things. And then one daughter, there was Rick's piano, and I gave her a piano book, and I started teaching her from that book. And then when she got to the second book, I was busy, and so she just kind of worked on it herself. And Rick was thinking, she should really have some lessons. And so she had piano lessons, and
boy, did she ever progress.
Yes.
Wow.
So
you said a key thing. You engage your kids in activities that they were interested in.
Mm-hmm.
And so by doing that, you had Rick's children and your children kind of doing some of the same things at the same, or
my
no?
children less, but when we went out hiking, like at the overnight 3-day backpacking trip, yes, my daughters came along.
Not all of them, not all the time, but we had one of them come when we did cross-country skiing together. Our very first trip on our big backpacking trip, we had Rick's girls, and I think they came on a couple other of our hikes.
The other thing we did that none of Leisa or her girls had ever done before was community theater. So I was involved with it. So I thought, let's do it as a family. So what was it? The Secret Garden.
Yes.
We all had some role in it. I was doing the sound up in the sound booth. Lisa was backstage, and the other girls were on stage.
Okay, so I was right off the stage. So I was like stage manager, I guess. I had the headphones so I could communicate with everybody. And I also came in at the very end in the scene. And so the 3 girls were backstage helping with moving all the props and things. And one of them also had a very short little piece in the play. And our third daughter, Melanie, she was the star. She was Mary, and she was absolutely amazing. And so we all were involved in this, and that was fun. So it was unfortunate that we couldn't always have Rick's daughters with us, but we created that sense of family as much as we could with our everyday family, so that when the girls came, we were like we always welcomed them. It was always
Yeah.
like, we're glad that you're here. Here's a room that you can have. Here's, and I worked at making the food that they would enjoy. And, it was, everything we did was just to make sure they felt welcomed and loved. And that, no, I wasn't mom to them. I was another adult who loved and supported them.
Just to
That is
finish
beautiful.
up the theater stuff, we were involved. Various members of the family were involved in at least 4, 5, 6 others, including a couple major musicals like Fiddler on the Roof. So
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So your kids, I can just imagine by doing these kinds of family activities, you can't help but build a greater
mhm,
bond together. So parents of blended families engage together.
yes,
Yes.
So that's
and
one, I'm going to put that in the chat.
do
And
things like I did things that I love to do and introduce them to it. And some of them just took off with it. They really liked it and continued on, like with the theater and with the hiking. Only one of the daughters was concerned when she was out hiking.
Yeah. But the others, we had lots of good fun memories. And Rick also did a play, Charlotte's Web, with Melanie. And then he was with my oldest, he did The Fiddler on the Roof. And then the girls did some other plays
Yeah.
themselves. And so it's interesting. There were a lot of times where it seemed like Rick and Melanie just butt heads. And I had a hard time with that because I would think, now, if this was his biological daughter, would this really be happening?
Yes.
And so it took a lot of years to realize, and I would talk with some other people as, my girls grew up and they were out of the home, and I would come to understand that, yeah, even, biological parents, like, they have this problem. And so, and then Melanie told us as an adult going, well, even though Rick and I would, butt heads, we came to an agreement. And
It was our way of
yes,
communicating.
and they were like, it was no big deal. And I'm going, okay.
Well,
that's beautiful.
and Melanie says that I was the father that they really needed.
It was actually Catherine said that.
Was it?
Wow. And
Catherine.
how did you feel? How did you
Oh,
feel when she said that to you?
it's, well, tears.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It
I
was
can
emotional.
imagine. I can,
Uh,
oh my God. So you guys, again, as I said when I first started, you walk the talk
the talk.
Well,
because, go
yes,
ahead.
we didn't have all of this thing, all this other knowledge.
No.
And if we had had it, like, there could have been better. And so that's what's really where our passion comes, is that we look back and go, oh, there's so many things now that we realize we really could have done better. And we really want to help couples understand. And we really want, whether you are, a nuclear family couple, or if you're a blended couple, which we call step couples, we really want to help them to really understand who they choose to be, understand the family that they want to have, that vision of what it is, and then teach them some really wonderful, great tools that help them to communicate more effectively together and to help them be that role model for their children. So when their children have their struggles, these parents can say, hey, let's use this strategy and this will help you. And it gives another way to communicate with your children.
And
That is
just knowing
beautiful.
that doesn't end your problems. We still
Oh,
need to
yes.
work on our communication because there's times that we butt heads because we're both creative and so on. We butt heads a lot.
Yes.
But
Okay. And
we know
Yeah.
how to deal with it and get up
okay.
quickly. And that's
Okay.
key.
And that's what our next segment, I've got a couple of commercials to do, but
Okay.
after those commercials, we're going to come back and talk about how do families address the issue of that contention or that butting heads. Okay, so we want to give them some concrete solutions to dealing with that based on your own experience. But we'll be right back.
Been feeling myself for a minute. Hallelujah. Amen.
Hey there, Jason McNamara here, and I'm about to drop something truly game-changing your way. Are you tired of the same old 9-to-5 grind? Feeling stuck in obtaining the life you deserve and craving something more? Well, listen up, because I've got something you will not want to miss. Introducing the No More 9-to-5 Club Professional Membership, your ticket to freedom and success in the entrepreneurial world. With our professional membership, you'll get access to weekly coaching sessions, pre-recorded trainings, and a vibrant community of fellow game changers. You get access to technology that will allow you to automate passive income streams, as well as unlock all of our expert-led trainings in the back office so you know where to go for good advice when you need it. You will also use the club to build up a residual income stream with a 2-tier 33% affiliate commission unlocked at this level, allowing you to help people help themselves while generating a residual passive income stream for yourself. And here's the kicker. For a limited time, you can unlock all of this just for a $1.11 donation to our club foundation.
I like this one.
Your first month is on us. So what's holding you back? Click the link below, make your donation, and let's start building the life and business of your dreams together. Here at the No More 9-to-5 Club, we're all about turning dreams into reality and smashing through those glass ceilings.
That's what I'm talking about, Jake.
Whether you're a seasoned entrepreneur or just starting out, we've got the tools and support you need to thrive and evolve. And don't forget to sign up for our bootcamp training. It's the perfect way to kickstart your journey and unlock even more perks. So what are you waiting for? Join the No More 9-to-5 Club today and let's make those dreams a reality. I can't wait to see you on the inside. You only get one now. Invest it in your better future. Let's make magic happen together.
No more 9 to 5. Let me tell you about No More 9 to 5. Jason McNamara founded this group. And if you want to have more connections, meet more people that are of like mind, who are driven by purpose and passion, you want to join No More 9 to 5. If you want masterminds, trainings and courses and all of that, you want to join No More 9 to 5. If you are employed but it's not enough and you know that you want to explore your purpose and your passion, or help or have someone help you identify your purpose or your passion, you want to join No More 9 to 5. If you want residual income, or you want to look at various options for residual income, you want to join No More 9 to 5. And you can join for $1.11 the first month. And those proceeds go to veterans, to help veterans. So what more could you want? An opportunity to be involved with like-minded people, an opportunity for masterminding, an opportunity to look at residual income, the opportunity to learn and to grow. Check out No More 9 to 5, and you can click the link bit.ly/No More 9 to 5, and I have put the information in the comments. All right. I'm going to, I have other commercials that I need. I can't believe this hour is almost over. Okay, so we've got several books that you have created, and we're going to look at all of them, and the last two are the ones that focus on a special project that you've got coming up really soon. So let's quickly look at all of your books. The first one is You've blended your families. Now what? Tell us about this.
This is a flip book, and this one is for blended families. As it says, it's understanding the new roles and new rules. So it's an interactive book. And as you go through, it's almost like a little mini course because inside there are some free gifts that you can also, well, I guess a gift is free. There are little gifts, little extra PDFs inside that you can go to and download.
And they can go to FuseFamilyFocus.com and access these books, correct?
I'm not sure if this one is on the website, but at our FuseFamilyFocus.com, or if you want to send us an email and get in touch with us, we'll for sure help you receive this.
I will attempt to
Okay.
put a link on right away
Well,
Okay.
on our website.
Okay, you hear that, audience, and you can email admin@FuseFamilyFocus.com. Admin@FuseFamilyFocus.com. Email them and ask them how you can get access to some of the things that may not be on their website. Now we've got bonds and boundaries. Let's talk about that.
okay, this program we created, it's a 6-week program, and it's for couples to really help them. And so we teach them, which are basically the A, B, and C's of success in relationships. And we help couples understand that you need to be aware of where you are in your life right now, the beliefs that brought you there, and are they the beliefs you want to have? And then C is clarity, to really get clear on where is it that you really want to be. And then we have a few other C's that go in there as well that help you to understand the person you choose to be.
That's awesome. And then we've got parents with a purpose.
Yes.
And you talk about parent date. You want to talk about parent date?
Well, this was an idea that came to, well, I guess it was more came to me, was if we're bringing parents together to really help them, it's like, well, let's make it a date. Because everybody wants to go on a date with their spouse, and we know that that's really important. And so why not have a date where you're actually learning and growing together? And so Parents with Purpose is 4 weeks, and that's we have found that Fuse has been an important purpose in our life, because every time we have big, problems and we want to just disintegrate, well, Fuse disintegrates. And what about all those people that really we could be helping? And so our purpose has really brought us together, that this is something that's more important than this big argument.
That's beautiful.
So we really want to help couples have a purpose.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. And then we've got Fuse at Home.
This was our first program that we created, and we are bringing, I guess it's bringing Fuse into the home. So it was called Fuse at Home. And it's a 12-week program for parents where we teach. It's directed first to the parents. So it's like their parenting manual. Here's the information. Here's how you can teach this to your children. So it's all set up to have a meeting with your children each week, teaching a new concept and having some activities. And we give them ideas and how you can use the concepts in your family.
That's
this
amazing.
came about in an interesting way. We were at a trade show. We had a booth. This lady walked up and started talking to Leisa, and she was at her wit's end. And so we agreed that we would come to her home and teach her this program. But we didn't have a program yet. So what happened was we had prepared the first week. We went and taught it to her. Then we go home and create the next segment.
We created an outline of just kind of basic of what we were going to do. So that's what we did. And then we came home and we went to the next lesson. Okay, this is how we're doing it. And it really made an impact on her life.
And I'm sure your meetings with them, that first meeting gave you some ideas of things that you needed to incorporate.
Yes.
And Okay, I know you got this coming up.
This one is coming up July 19th. We are a part of a full day conference for parents and well for couples. Is for helping you to, I guess,
Calibrate your life, I think it
yes,
was.
it is. And so we are the romantic partnership portion of that day. So we will be doing a 20-minute workshop, and you'll be right there interacting with us in this workshop. And we're also a part of a panel where we'll be answering questions. And so in this workshop, we really want to help you increase harmony and connection as a couple.
That's
And it's, yeah.
beautiful. And
And
then,
the intimacy insight, a relationship check-in, is one that we have been doing this workshop, and it's been an hour-long workshop. And we have had participants who are actually not in a relationship be a part of it, as well as someone who is. And it's been very interesting, and they've really enjoyed the insights that they received doing this program.
that's amazing. And and you know what? We've ran out of time.
I
I
see
even
that.
had more commercials that I needed to play. I really did, including the workshop that I've got coming up and this Saturday. Um, let
Awesome.
me let me play that right quick, and we'll be back. In fact, um, let me share my father's video, and let me say that this particular video was created and produced by none other than Rick. So let me play this right quick. Father, provider, protector, role model for a son, the image of the man that will be the husband of your daughter when that time comes. What's best for your children should be concern number one, regardless of any obstacles a father must overcome. Sometimes the injustices of our society towards many of our fathers can make it hard to stand, but you gotta stand and be a man and a father to your children in every way you possibly can. Demonstrate their worth through you by the words that you say and the things that you do. Don't ever put your children down or call them out of their name. They may become whatever you claim. Lift them up to higher ground. Let their inner beauty be seen, be found. Show them and tell them how special they are. Be the light. Be the light. Be the light to take them far. Show them and tell them how much you really care, and let them know no matter what, you will always, in all ways, be there. Pray that our fathers will be guided by the light to lead their children in the ways that are right. Yes, I have a preview of a comprehensive father's program called Nurturing Relationships, Strengthening Bonds. I'm doing a preview of that on Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time and again at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I have put in the chat an opportunity for you to get tips for fathers, and you can also register for this workshop. Tell your friends, tell fathers that you know. If you are a father, check it out. I'd like to see you there on Saturday, June 29th. And mothers, grandmothers, uncles, aunts, please share with the males in your lives who are fathers to get them to come to a free 90-minute preview of nurturing relationships, strengthening bonds. All right, well, listen. we've gone over. What I'm going to do is give both of you the last word. And then I want to say to our audience, thanks for watching. And this replay will be there to infinity. So I'm going to give you guys an opportunity to share the final words. And then with that, I'll say, see you on Thursday.
Thank you so much, Vera, for having us on the show. And we would really love to have couples come and get to know us. And you can book a Zoom call with us from our website and just chat and see if there's things that we could help you with, or if there's a workshop that you would really, really love to be a part of, let us know.
And we're also ICF trained coaches like Vera is. So if you need some assistance in dealing with some of the issues of blended families or nuclear families, go on our website and
book
a call.
All right. Well, thank you very much. And please support the Vera Thomas Show. I put the information in the chat as well. And with that, we will see you all next week. And if you guys could hold on a few minutes before taking off, I would appreciate it. God bless you all. See you next week.
The Vera Thomas